You're about to sell your house and you're thinking about dumping thousands of dollars into it before you list. I'm going to help you avoid that mistake and save a little bit of cash starting right now. After 20 years of helping others during some of the biggest transitions of their lives, PCS moves, divorces, downsizes, career changes, I can tell you that the fastest way that people lose money isn't the market. It's the wrong repairs. It's the wrong preparation. And here are 10 things that you need to skip and where you actually need to put your money instead. Here's exactly what to know, and it's coming from a question that we just received. It's, Weldon, we need to sell our place in Colorado Springs. We've been here about 4 years. The carpet's worn, the driveway has cracks, and honestly, the kitchen feels dated. We're thinking about doing a kitchen remodel before we list, but we're on a deadline because we've got to be in our new city in about 60 days. How much should we put into the house to get top dollar? Awesome. Thank you for the question. But I want you to listen to what they said in it. Kitchen remodel. That's often $50,000 or more, and they've got maybe 60 days before they need to be somewhere. There's a long road to haul with that. And what do I hear there as someone who thinks about transition strategy all the time for others and how to protect that wealth? It's how do we protect the equity that's under a hard deadline? That's not a renovation question. That's actually, again, a wealth question. And if we get the sequence wrong, every dollar that they spend on the wrong fix, it's a dollar they can't use on that move. And I'm going to give you the 10 things to not fix before selling your home. And at the end of this, I'll tell you where to actually spend your money for maximum return. And pay attention to number 7 because that's where the most money, it is just wasted. So let's get into it. And with number 1, do not remodel your kitchen or the bathrooms to sell your house. I know that sounds backwards, but here's the reality check. A kitchen remodel, that can run $50,000 to $100,000 depending on scope and where you live. You often aren't going to get that back at closing, especially if you're selling on a timeline. The buyer, they may want something completely different than what you pick as well. So what's the better move here? It's update the hardware, new cabinet pulls, a new faucet, a fresh coat of paint on the cabinets themselves. That's going to cost you a few $100 and it's going to make everything feel and look modern. That's going to go much further than if you did the full kitchen remodel. Number 2, don't replace your flooring, at least not yet. So if you've got luxury vinyl plank and you're thinking about putting in new luxury vinyl plank, stop. The buyer, they may not love your choice and you just spent $3,000 to $5,000 for no reason at all. But if you have carpet, and here's the exception. If your carpet is stained or it's worn out or it smells like the dog has been living there for years, replace it. I see this all the time with military families who have 3 deployments and the dog basically owned the house. Carpet, it's relatively cheap and it helps eliminate odor, which that can be a deal breaker from the instant somebody walks in. The hardwood floors, engineered flooring, leave them alone though. If they're scratched up, a refinish, that is always way cheaper than a full replacement. Number 3, don't fix cracks in your driveway or walkways. So jackhammering concrete and repouring, that's expensive and you're not going to see that money back. Now, if you've got a brick or stone walkway with actual tripping hazards, fix that because an inspector, they may flag that. But the driveway, leave it alone. Many buyers, they're not going to pay much extra for fresh concrete. And in this case, make note, we're talking about cracks, not significant upheaval in the driveway itself, okay? So don't fix the cracks. Now, number 4, this is don't replace your roof. So a new roof, that can run anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 depending on size and material. Here's the move that you make instead. And write this down because it's going to save you not only in this example, but others. Get 2 to 3 written estimates from reputable roofers with different materials. And then you have that in your back pocket. You could provide it to a buyer if you wanted to, but what does it do? It takes negotiation leverage away from them because a buyer's escrow quote, that will often come in 2 to 3 times higher than what you can get right now. Doesn't mean you go fix it. It just means you've done the homework. You control the narrative, and that's smart selling. Here's where it gets real. The next few, they're the ones that I see families mess up the most. And number 7, again, that's the one that can cost you significant money. So let's keep going. Number 5, don't replace your front door. So a solid wood door, that can cost thousands to buy and hang. And so I want you to focus on this instead. Just paint it. A fresh coat of paint or a new stain, that completely transforms the look for under $100. Your buyer doesn't care if the door is new. They care if it looks good from the curb. Number 6, don't replace your window coverings. So blinds and curtains, they're expensive and they're completely personal to whoever's living there. Here's what you should do instead. Take down anything that's dated. Those old curtains, the broken blinds that never would line up right. Look, patch the holes from the curtain rods, paint the walls, and let that natural light just pour in. Bright homes, they sell faster, period. And you just saved yourself a couple $1,000s that you didn't need to spend, again, on new curtains. Number 7, and I told you this was the big one, don't do expensive landscaping projects. Don't. No outdoor kitchens, no stone pathways, no hardscaping. I see families dumping tens of thousands of dollars and even $20,000 into the yard for nothing. They think it's going to wow the buyers, but it doesn't increase the value. You're spending money that you're not going to see back. What I would suggest instead, mow the lawn, trim the bushes, lay down fresh mulch, power wash the walkways and the driveway. Clean and maintained is going to beat expensive and overbuilt every single time. And here's the wealth angle that you need to hear. That money that you didn't spend on landscaping, that's your cushion on the other side of this move. I work with a lot of families going through these transitions, and that money that they save, that creates opportunity wherever they're moving to next. You create breathing room for that next chapter of life by being strategic with where you're putting your money. And that's whether you're relocating, downsizing, right-sizing, if you're PCSing, if you're military, it doesn't matter. That's what we help figure out, is the strategies for people to use to help you through this transition. And real estate, that's one major part of it, but it's multifaceted. We connect you to the right professionals to help guide you wherever you are across the nation. Now, number 8, don't replace your fireplace. So whether it's wood burning, a gas insert, the buyer has their own preference. Just make sure it works and the chimney has been cleaned. The fewer unknowns that a buyer has to worry about, the more confident they are moving forward. That's the principle running through this entire list. Number 9, don't do partial repairs. So if one bathroom faucet handle, if it's broken, and you replace just that one handle, now it doesn't match. It looks like a weekend project that just went sideways. And if you have to fix a leak, replace the entire fixture set. It's not that expensive, and the difference between this home looks maintained and this home looks patched, that is thousands of dollars. And it's the buyer's perception. Remember, we want a buyer to walk in and feel like they can move their stuff in and start living, not feel like they're buying a project. Number 10, don't over-improve for your neighborhood. So if every house on your street is sold for $350,000 and you just put $100,000 into yours, you're not going to get $450,000. The neighborhood sets the ceiling. And I see this a lot with families who've lived someplace for a decade or more. They get emotionally attached and they know what they've invested in the home. But it happens with anyone, in this case, who's loved a home. The comps, the comparisons, they don't support that cost. They don't care about your memories. They care about the square footage and the condition relative to the block. So be wise about what you're investing in within your home. Get a real estate professional's opinion to help you make that determination. All right, bonus round. You made it this far, so here's where you should actually spend your money. 3 things. First, deep clean. I'm talking baseboards, windows, inside the oven, behind the toilets. I want it sparkling. A buyer should walk in and it smells fresh. Second, it's paint. A fresh coat of neutral paint throughout the house, that is often one of the best bang for your buck moves that you can do in real estate. It makes everything feel new, it helps eliminate odors, and it photographs well for the listing. Third, declutter and stage. Get the personal photos down. Get the extra furniture out. Either hire a stager or arrange what you have to make the room feel bigger. Those 3 things, clean, paint, stage, that's usually going to get you more in return than most renovations. And here's the bigger principle. Whether you're selling because of a PCS, a career change, a divorce, a downsize, it doesn't matter. Whatever your transition is, start this process the day that you know the move is coming, not the day that you decide to list. The families who win, the ones who plan ahead, they're the ones who walk away with the most equity intact. If you've got a big transition coming up, let's figure it out together. Click the link in the description below. Set your transition up for success. Let's talk through it. This is what I do every single day. Let's get clarity on your life goals, your finances, your real estate if that's involved, so that way you can confidently make this next move with the right professionals by your side. Our conversation doesn't cost anything. It is purely connecting you with the right people at the right time in the right place for you and your situation. I'm Weldon Hobbs, and when we're making big decisions, we start with your life goal. We optimize it for wealth, and then we focus on the real estate. Remember, good decisions, they start with good information, and I'll see you in the next one.